What's up guys, Mystic Frost here. So today is Sunday, it's tournament day. Tournament's actually already started, but unfortunately I'm unable to attend this week. Sometimes you just don't go, to put it simply. We've had a very hectic week, so I'm just taking the week off to spend time with the partner and just do some couple things. But I still wanted to bring a video about this week. I want to try and remain consistent as possible. So what I'm actually going to do is show you my cupboard. It's actually like my office, but it's supposed to be like a storage cupboard. But in this house, we've turned it into where all my crap goes, basically. So I'm going to go over that and go over my personal history with Yugioh. Just kind of get to know me a little better. But first, let's make some coffee. Okay, so in the kitchen we have this door. We open it up, and like I said, it's supposed to be some form of storage unit, cupboard thing, I don't really know, but we're using it where I keep my stuff. So there's my Funko Pops. This stack of cards is to actually be cut up for a DIY project, and then there's some stuff that means some things to me, like some gifts that a few of the students got me when I left my last job. Top loaders kept it there as well. And then some Pokemon Funko Pops, and then my desk. So this is quite cool. David got me this from MPEC. It's a top loader for game mats. Unfortunately, the game mat's a bit bigger than the desk, so it does overhang. But then here we've got my staple folder, what was going to be kind of like a high value trade folder, but I've just decided to compact it all. So I'm actually starting to collect Pokemon cards, and that's where that goes. The white folder has deck cores in. Purple is more of a collection folder, and the orange is currently empty. That's a little 4 pocket binder. So any idea what I can keep in that, let me know. Then I've got my trade binder down there. And then yellow is the MPEC sales binder. The dark blue is main deck monster, spell and trap, hollows. And the light blue is the X deck hollows. And then the purple folder is actually a complete living Pokedex that I'm trying to do. Still missing quite a few cards, and then I've got my card sleeves, my deck boxes and my dice, and my Team Mystic pin badge, and of course my judge mat. So I'm going to flick through most probably my staple binder as we go over the personal history. So just quickly as well, here I've got some tins and stuff on the floor. I plan to get like a little cube storage thing in here to put tins and other folders and even plushies and stuff on. That's a homemade prize board I made for Pokemon, and on the other side's got a double-sided Yugioh game mat, because in the old house was a lot smaller, so I couldn't always sit at the kitchen table. So I made that to play on if we was ever sitting in the living room chilling, and then my guitar. But yeah, so I'm going to hook you up, and then we'll go over the staple binder. Okay, so it was pointed out to me previously that sometimes the deck profiles look a little screw whiff because I record this part long ways instead of that way. But unfortunately, with how my desk's currently set up, I have to do it this way, so hopefully you guys can see everything. Okay, now first of all, I love the salted accessories. I think they're brilliant. However, any form of mark gives this weird stain to it. And yeah, to me it kind of just ruins the folder. Like already just having this makes me want to not keep my staples in this. That's most probably just me being too OCD, but I hope that resonates with some people out there. What you'll find as well is blank spots. Blank spots means that they're in a deck. I've now got to the point now where every card is in a white card sleeve, matching white card sleeve as well. So therefore I can just rotate them from one deck to another without having to change sleeves, and then it's just a case of over sleeving them. Some cards in the folder, for example like the Ghost Spells, are already double sleeved, already have that over sleeve because I had some spare. But others like the Ghost Ogre aren't. So it's just a case of take them out of the oversleeve, put them back in the binder and put it in. So here's where my Ash Blossom would sit, and then here we go. And then what you'll see here is white card sleeves. If I just angle it, so here are cards that I don't currently own, because that's just an empty sleeve ready for them to go in. So this is Ghost Mourner and Spooky Dogwood. I do not own playsets of those particular cards. And then this would be Effect Veiler, Imperm, and then other copies. And I think the rest of the folder is pretty much filled out to the point where you will then see the vision as I go. So now I can talk about, like I said, what I wanted to talk about is my personal history with Yu-Gi-Oh! So I started playing in 2002 when the original Yugi and Kaiba structure decks first came out. That's where Gamma-Seal would go. I don't own Gamma-Seal, random card not to own. But yeah, I played, not competitively, I played very socially with my friends from school, and I played with mainly my best mate at the time, a guy called Johnny. Johnny would play with his sister's boyfriend as well. He played a guy called Steve. We would all love it. We all spent time building very weird and competitive decks. Like at the time, my favourite deck to play was Zombies, and then Insects, which was very, very random. And then unfortunately, I moved away, still same city but different part. I don't know if any of you here watching this knows Peterborough. It's a very, very big city, and it is done via buses, because at that time I was 16, 17, I didn't drive. Still don't drive now, but that's beside the point. So we kind of fell out of contact and physical Yu-Gi-Oh! Stopped. That was about the time Synchros first came out. Me and Johnny carried on a little bit with Synchro Summoning. Like I got the Stardust tin, he got the Red Dragon Archfiend. But that was about it. We didn't really go past that point with the Synchro Summoning. And that was it. I was done with Yu-Gi-Oh! I still kept a little bit of a collection because I still really loved the game. I still loved the cards. Whereas Johnny didn't. He got rid of everything. And then during lockdown, I got bored. I was watching YouTube, as I do. I was very much big into Pokemon. I still very much am big into Pokemon. I absolutely love Pokemon. But I came across DZeef, for an amazing YouTuber who at the time was playing Altergeist, and I absolutely loved his deck profile. So I thought, I've got a bit of spare money, it's lockdown, I've got the time to learn, let's learn how to play Altergeist. So that's what I did. I went and I literally copied his deck list. I did what's called net decking, and I ordered everything. Cost me just over £100 at the time because of ultra rare Ash Blossoms weren't reprinted to the ground at that point, so it was very, very expensive still. So yeah, I picked up the full Altergeist core, including the hand traps. At the time I was living in a place called Burton Latimer with my current partner, and I had a look online to see where the closest game shop was that did Yu-Gi-Oh! And that was all the way in Northampton, which was like a 40-minute drive, so it was a bit of a trek. But I thought, why not? I spoke to my partner and she was like, yeah, cool, you know, it's holidays at this point. I think it was the October half term. So this is my collection folder, by the way. So as you can see here is my Odd Eyes page. I have a play set of the 25th century quarter rare a playset of Ultimate Rares and a playset of the Tin Secret Rares. Odd Eyes is my second favourite card of all time, my favourite being Flame Swordsman. So those of you who don't know, that's why I have so many Odd Eyes cards. Anyway, backstory. So we went on a Thursday daytime. I met the owner of Geek Retreat North, and we had a few games. I wanted to make sure that I understood things like link summoning and stuff correctly, and turns out I did. Turns out I actually had quite a mind for the mechanics of the game. So I decided to enter a tournament that they had on that weekend. Little did I know it was actually an OTS tournament, and I came 9th out of over like 40 odd people that turned up. And the funny thing is, I technically got top 8. The only reason why my points got dropped was because of a mispairing that they did, and at the time I wasn't at that point where I could understand. Well, I could tell them and go, okay, well, if their pairing was wrong, then that means mine was wrong. Let's redo the whole round, which was within my right to do, but I just accepted it. Just quickly, these are all the Tim promos, all 25th quarter century rare, and then the Silent Swordsman, Silent Magician, because I love the original Duel Monsters, and there was 2 spots remaining. I was going to try and get the secret rare Skull Dice and Graceful Dice, and I might still do that, but for now, that's quite cool for me. This was one of my favourite archetypes when I got back into the game. I've since sold my Altergeist core, by the way. I no longer have that, and I moved to Amazements instead. To me, does very similar things, but a lot more fun. But yeah, so anyway though, I was happy to walk away with 9th place and my prizing and stuff. Bearing in mind, this is the first time I played Yu-Gi-Oh! In over 20 years. So I was very, very shocked of how well I actually did. I'm trying to complete the Fairy Tale archetype, just because, again, Leon's deck in the original anime, fucking loved it. So, and then this is my favourite archetype of all times, the Mythical Beast and Endymion. I love pendulums, it's my favourite summoning mechanic, and this deck, made me fall in love with the game properly. But anyway, so I took my prize in, I was happy with it, and off I went. That was that. And then basically they started only doing their Yu-Gi-Oh's evenings during the week. We have little kids, so it just was not possible for me to get my partner to drive me 40 minutes there, play for 3 hours and drive 40 minutes back. It wasn't fair on the kids, bedtime for school. So I thought, okay, my return to Yu-Gi-Oh was very, very short. And then Geek Retreat Kettering opened, and again theirs was Thursday night, and I was like, oh shit, it's closer, but I still can't do it. And then I spoke to the owner, Dan, and he goes, well, just bear with me, because I'm having a reshuffle anyway, and I'm thinking about moving Yu-Gi-Oh to Sundays. And I was like, mate, that would be amazing if you did that. I'd definitely be here every week, barring a couple. And he did. Literally 2 weeks later, they had the revamp, moved the Yu-Gi-Oh over to Sunday, and there we have it. I started playing, what set just came out? When I was there, the first proper deck I built was Math Mech with Math Mech Circular. So, just to quickly go over these are all some ultra rare or secret rares that I love. Because again, the God cards, the Speed Duel Secrets, the Silent Swordsman, original printing of all 3 in the Ultras. The Magnet Warriors from the video games, not the reprints, these are from the video games. Flame Swordsman, like I said, my favourite card. In this Speed Duel Secret Rare as well, which is just amazing printing. It's actually a very clean cut as well, so if I was ever going to send cards off to get graded, this might be one of them. And then I just thought, why not build like a little Joey section here. So I've got the Gear Freed. This Gear Freed is also the Speed Duel Secret. I will show you in a minute the original Gear Freed I had from the release. It is so beat up and battered because we were kids and didn't use card sleeves. And then this Blue Eyes is actually a misprint. If you look at the defense points, it's only got 3,000, should have 3,800, but this only has 3,000 defense. So I thought that was quite funny. And then on the back, just the metaverse stuff, because They've done nothing with it yet, but I can see this having some crazy support somewhere down the line. But yeah, so I fell in love playing Yu-Gi-Oh! At locals. Tournament format was a bit of a bitch, not going to lie to you. I didn't understand that sort of complexity with the combos and stuff, so it really did throw me off. And then Geek Retreat started advertising that they actually had a staff position available, and I thought, oh my god, it's the dream to work in your local card shop. I was currently unemployed, so I thought, yeah, like let's apply. Now, I was looking at full-time work. What I didn't know was the position was only part-time, and I thought, the owner Dan knows a lot about Magic. He is a Magic player, and so is quite a few of their employees currently, and they knew enough about Yu-Gi-Oh! To sell it, but they didn't really know enough about Yu-Gi-Oh! To run events, to know what to look out for set-wise and stuff. They just went on whatever promotional material Konami gave them. And I thought, well, what can I do? What can I add to the table here? Like, I have years of sales experience, so I've got this, I've got that. This is my Guardian Chimerical. Those of you who don't know, who are new to the channel, I played this consecutively for nearly a whole year. I've now moved over to White Forest, but this deck, oh my god, it's not the last time you'll see it on the channel. I will be bringing it back. So I actually registered and became an online judge. So that meant that I can now judge events. I applied for the job, didn't get an interview because they knew I was looking full-time and it was only part-time. And they explained that to me, and I was like, okay, cool. There's a quarter century rare. I picked that up when it was quite cheap, thinking White Forest would bump the price, but it hasn't really, not yet anyway. These were also quarter century rares. Need to get these in QCR. And I was like, okay, cool. Fair enough, thanks for letting me know. All the missing White Forest stuff is currently in a deck at the minute, hence why it's not here. And again, more pendulum stuff. Oh, pendulum. But yeah, so I was now a registered judge, and we did have a judge at locals, but he was very hit and miss if he was there or not. So therefore, I kind of filled in the shoes of being the head judge at Geek Retreat Kettering. Whenever they do OTS events, I judge them rather than playing in them. And sometimes, yes, I do think it might be more fun to play in, but I know my skill level, and when I see other players there, and I hope they don't mind me naming them here, but people like Solomon and Callum and Wally, which are just absolutely amazing players, and the way their minds tick to this game, I don't think I would ever keep up. I've beat them a few times, but like, you know, when it comes down to it, they definitely have more wins over me than what I have over them. So I was like, okay. Whereas, you know, judging it, I get a box of the set, I get, you know, free food, free drink. Yeah, there's definitely more perks for me to judge the event than there is for me to play in the event. And I still enjoy judging. I still find it quite fun. I find it quite knowledgeable. I take my time to learn rulings of modern meta decks. When I do get a chance, now I'm unemployed again, I have a lot of time to look up these rulings and stuff, which is always fun. That's all in the deck as well, the toy stuff. And then my Dragoon package, my DPE package, and then I'm missing so much of this. It's not even funny, like to the point where I'm tempted just to scrap it and not even try and collect these because of the prices on, like, the main monster. I can't even remember what the hell it's called. And then my Enchantress. This is all cheap enough, I just haven't got around to picking up. There's always been better things for me to buy at the time. But yeah, so as I was saying, so I became the judge. I now judge at OTSs. I then went off last year and judged the regionals down in Birmingham, and that was absolutely crazy. I got to meet some of my favourite YouTubers. I met Rev's Cards, I got a photo with him. I met Farfa in the hotel. It wasn't long after arriving, so I didn't feel comfortable asking him for a photo. He was checking into a hotel. Yeah, I met Sunseed Jess. I actually managed to judge on day 2 the side events, and I had Rev's cards sitting there at one of my tables, and it's like, this is crazy. I'm judging an event of a YouTuber that got me into the game, that teaches me about the game, and it's like, this guy's most probably forgotten more about Yu-Gi-Oh than I'll ever know, but yet I get to judge his game here. Like, to me, that was so surreal. And Rev's cards, his name's Ryan, is most probably one of the nicest people you'll ever meet as well. They say don't meet your heroes, but honestly, it was a pleasure meeting him. But yeah, so I managed to go and play those events. This is my original Gear 3 the other night. Look how beat up that is. Now, the reason why this card means so much to me is because Johnny gave it to me. This was one of my favourite cards growing up. I was a massive Joey fan. And Gear 3, Flame Swordsman, absolutely brilliant. And I had a common Gear 3 in my deck. And Johnny pulled this like from a booster pack. And obviously when we were kids, just pulling a super rare meant so much. It was absolutely wild. We would trade, but like do ridiculous trades, like 10 cards for one, you know, kind of thing. So for him just to turn around and go, here, you can have this, was so sweet of him in the moment. And honestly, like, it just meant the world to me, which is why I've kept it. As much as it's beat up, this card will never go anywhere. And that's why it's sat in the folder next to the 100 Dragon and the Time Wizard super rare, just because, again, keeping that little Joey vibe going. And then at the bottom we've got the Panther Warrior, Rocket Warrior and Gilter. The rest of these cards are kind of pointless, to be perfectly honest with you. These are just like bulk hollows that I may use at some point. The ones in the white card sleeves are more likely to be used, and the ones in the brown are just like cool. But yeah, so I've been judging events now for like the last 2 years on and off. I went and played an event earlier this year down in Peterborough. I did a video on that as well, which was quite fun. But yeah, that's my history with Yu-Gi-Oh! This is how I got into the game, and you know, the fact that I'm still playing like 20 odd years later, my love for this game is just growing. And honestly, like, people will look at other people's collections and be like, oh, I'm so jealous. And honestly, don't be. I know that sounds really easy for me to say, just don't be jealous. Like, my collection is nothing special. I think the most expensive card in my collection is what, 30, 40 quid, something like that. But like, even my staple binder, some of the newer players at locals were like, oh my god, you've got so many cool cards. And it's like, yeah, but this is over years of playing. Yeah, so this is what I would advise anyone, especially any newer players out there, or people wanting to get into the game and just don't know where to pick, don't know where to start, is just pick something that you're happy with. Like, I started with Altergeist, I moved to Dragoonity, I moved to Trap Tricks, Amazements, and then I finally found Chimera, and that is where I was happy. But that doesn't mean I wasn't happy with the other decks. I really enjoyed all the other decks, and especially Math Mech and Trap Tricks. This is my trade folder, by the way, Judge Man, because I'm a judge. I thought that was funny. Yeah, but every other card, even if you come dead last at locals, you get an OTS pack and one booster pack. All it takes is for you to pull one ulti from an OTS pack, and then you can most probably trade that for a handful of lower rarity staples for some with somebody there, or even alternatively sell it online if you have that, and then you could buy so many of your lower rarity staples. And that's what I did. My second event, I pulled the Ulti Fusion Destiny, and I sold it online for £70. And then with that £70, I literally went and bought Ghost Bell, DD Crow, Effect Veiler. Yeah, I bought all these really cool little hand traps, which I'm going to need somewhere down the line. And then the Cyber Dragon Structure Deck came out, so I bought 3 copies of that with my money that month, which gave me my copies of Infinite Impermanence. Then Trap Tricks came out, and I bought that, which gave me my copies of Evenly Matched. But now with Rarity Collection 1 and Rarity Collection 2 out there, you know what I mean? Like, literally, like, a playset of Artifact Lancer and Ultimate Rare, Ultra Rare, sorry, when I first started playing, would have cost a couple, like, 5, 6 to £10. Now it will cost you like 99p to £2 for the whole playset, because of Rarity Collection 1 and 2. Also, this is my trade folder. Everything in here is for trade and for sale, including the quarter century rares. So if there's anything in here that you guys are interested in, let me know and we can work something out. Yeah, and then it's just that. It's about taking your time, building it up, and just don't get hooked on the shiny syndrome. And that's the case of, for example, me with the Dogmatica package. As you've seen in here, I've got Ecclesia, I've got Nadir Servant, I've got Punishment, I've got 2 Elder Entity Entices, all quarter century rare, because, do apologise about that, my daughter likes to shut my office door, especially while I'm filming, so do apologise about that. Yeah, but because I played it for a little bit in my Shrine of Sarcophagus deck, I thought, oh my god, I want to max rarity this, and I bought it all. And the truth is, it's not even that good in that deck. It's an amazing package, but it just does not fit into any deck I want to play, hence why it's now in the trade folder. So you've got to bear that in mind, is just because it's shiny doesn't mean that you should always pick it up. Okay. I hope this has been helpful and I haven't rambled too much, because I've been completely off script this whole time. I do not like scripts because I don't see the point, because I will never read them anyway, because I move around like a fucking moron. But anyway, I will leave you guys to it, and I will catch you guys in the next one.